So now that Doge is out here finding all types of funds that has either been stolen, misallocated, or intentionally funneled for nefarious purposes. There's people out here who actually think that if the US was to grab all those funds, bring them back in, and then distribute them to the people, that'd be something good for the economy. One thing they're not considering is the fact that we're already on the pathway towards a second surge of inflation. And if there was to be more checks given out, that would only make things even worse. And so let me remind you, there's still a lot of very technical people that believes that second surge of inflation is coming. And no matter how much you get in a check, the cost of everything will definitely go up beyond what people can even imagine. This is something worth talking about. All right, so I want to take a quick minute to share some thoughts in reference to just the current narrative around this whole Doge and how the American taxpayer is going to benefit from the savings that Elon Musk and his team happens to be finding right now. But then again, with so much damage being done, I'm not quite sure what exactly people are expecting to come from this, just because our national currency is still diminishing in purchasing power by the day because we're in a debt-based economy. So in this video here, I'm going to share some thoughts in reference to a question posed on a talk show, and then all the excitement around how the host of the show were beyond excited in the idea that the American taxpayer should be able to get some of their money back that has been put into all these programs that Elon Musk and his team is finding. But then again, be careful what you ask for. So as always, if you guys want to hear more of these little short takes, definitely hit that thumbs up button, drop a comment down below, let me know your thoughts on the subject matter. And of course, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're always notified when I drop these little deep dives here. So first, let's play this short clip here, and then I'll share my 2 cents on it.
A viewer who reached out to me. She's in Cape Coral, Florida, and she says, Harris, could the government give all the taxpayers a refund from the money they're finding that went to places it never should have gone?
Yes, that is the next step, and that is the next natural step. When you are finding all of this money, when you are taking it back, when you are cutting off future streams of funding, give that back to the American people. Then you will see the economy absolutely explode, and people will once again be able to take out new loans and start new businesses and all the wonderful things that follow when they have more of their own money.
So in the short clip there, you have the young lady talking about finding all this money and taking it back. So once again, outside of this information being given to us as to all the criminality that's taking place right now with trillions of dollars going to a variety of places, not quite sure how all that money can be taken back, given that we still don't know exactly who the recipients of those funds were, as well as where those funds ended up at as far as accounts. To take it back, or to think that you can take it back, seems to be very misleading, because it's good to say at this current moment, all those funds has been spent, because we don't know how far back all this criminality goes as far as the trillions of dollars that's been spent. As of right now, this is what we do know. It says Doge has reported various figures related to potential savings and financial discrepancies. And so here we have a nearly untraceable budget line accounting for 4.7 trillion in payments, where a treasury assess symbol was often left incomplete. Estimated total savings of around 55 billion since the department's inception, though this includes various actions beyond fraud detection. And so far, there's been an identification of 2.7 trillion improper Medicare and Medicaid payments since 2003. And so with those figures, we have been given some numbers that seem to be very large. But then again, when it comes to the Medicare and Medicaid, those figures that's been given in reference to the trillions goes back to 2003. So once again, there's not some big pot of cash sitting around that the Doge team or the government can then confiscate and put it back into the government's own personal bank account and then divvy out some type of checks to the American public. Because once again, those funds more than likely have been spent already. Hence the idea of what we've been witnessing as far as a continual up of consumer prices over the last couple decades. And to the second point she mentioned about cutting out future spending, that in of itself is a good thing. But then again, she acts as if recent government spending has been from a surplus of cash. We've already been running a deficit, meaning that the taxpayers haven't really been funding the government for the last couple decades now, since Uncle Sam went on a spending binge with all these wars in the Middle East, unlimited promises of all kinds for the American people as well as the world. And so all these funds that have been spent, the Doge team is just finding now, have already been brought into existence by borrowing a loan, and it had nothing to do with the proceeds that come from taxpayer funds. It's based upon the information that she provided that particular viewer of their show, giving them some type of hope that there can be a refund check or something like that that's going to come in the mail sometime soon. Don't hold your breath on that. But then again, there will be funds coming, but it won't be the result of the Doge team actually finding these funds, bringing them back, and then divvying them out to the American people. It's going to come from some type of event that will unfold like they always do. And so then we'll find out exactly how much funds people might actually give. But regardless of that, we're already on the cusp of very concerning consumer price increases based upon the past couple of weeks and information given to us in reference to the uptick in CPI as well as PPI from January. And look no further than this very concerning trend right here when it comes to the CPI trending upward. So here we have from a global macro account where they've overlaid the trend with what we're experiencing today. And it's no coincidence that it looked very similar as far as its previous correlations in regards to what we possibly could expect in the next couple of months. He says, I can't help but to repost this chart as a reminder that we may be in for a second surge in the CPI. And if you look at the numbers, numbers here. The way he's measuring this is CPI in 1970, 1979. So that entire decade is what he's using as a measuring point. And as of here, it says 13.3% inflation is where it peaked at when you look on this chart right here. So the yellow line from 2017 to present, we're just at 3% inflation at this current moment. And so according to the chart here, when you overlay both these time periods here, it looks very concerning for him as well as a lot of the other people in the macro realm. So here you have this circle, which gives us a timing as to where we might be at this current moment. And so with the CPI figures from 1977 continuing upward to 1979, inflation was a major concern. So we followed our same pathway. We're looking at 2026 and 2027 as being very concerning time periods. So once again, previous time periods don't necessarily predict future expectations, but then again, when same policies are being implemented, you can always somewhat expect the same results. Therefore, whatever Doge appears to be doing as far as exposing all this fraudulent activity when it comes to this funds that's been spent, and the idea that you have people on Fox News telling people that they should be getting refund checks from all this cash being brought back in, little do they know, without the cash that's being found, there will be more cash brought into existence that will be put into the system in the next couple of months to keep this bubble economy going, on top of whatever emergency that might come about that will then lead the government need to create even more currency to get it out to the American people in the form of checks or CBDCs or whatever that might be. So regardless of all this, Doge is really not going to save the day. CPI will continue to go up, and all the information that you're going to be fed from the mainstream media is designed to keep you dumbed down and distracted. So once again, no politician is going to save the day. No new think tank being brought into existence led by the richest fiat holder is going to solve our debt-based problems. So it all boils down to you. You get your weight up to protect yourself financially speaking while sharpening your skill set so that you can add value to the world and let the chips fall where they may. So once again, just taking a minute, sharing some thoughts in reference to this video clip that I thought was very interesting because it's very misleading. But then again, the average person on the receiving end doesn't know that. So it's easy to fall for this hype. But then again, if you come this far in this video, you know the truth. So once again, curious to hear your thoughts. If you found value, hit that thumbs up button, drop a comment down below, let me know your thoughts, or feel free to add to the conversation. Definitely would love to get some dialogue in the comment section. And make sure you hit that bell so you always be notified when more future updates come out. And last, as always, don't want to leave you with all this information without also suggesting some possible strategies that can also help you stay one step ahead as well as diversify out of the old and into the new. And the best way to do that, of course, is with gold and silver. So if you're looking for some new ways to dollar cost average into gold and silver, then look no further than Parliament notes infused with 24-karat gold, which I believe is the most affordable gold on the market right now. As you see here, you can get a half a unit note, which is 1/2000th of a troy ounce at today's price of just $2.87. So it's the equivalent of taking 3 of these dollars here and redeeming them for one of those at the bare minimum and being able to protect and preserve this $3 here. But then again, this gold note here will appreciate in nominal value, therefore protecting the currency that you put into it. And so if you're interested in getting more of these notes here, you can go to buygoldnotes.com or just click the link in the description. It'll take you right there. And once again, just a way to diversify outside of the old and into the new. But other than that, just keeping you up to date on what's happening. Curious to hear your thoughts. Catch you guys later.